What do the bank do with the deposits which they accept from public? Of the total money that the bank accept, they use maximum amount for giving loans, which is written here. Now, this loan is always charged at a higher rate of interest. Okay, so they charge a higher rate of interest. Here you can see charge a higher rate of interest on loan. So when the bank is charging higher rate of interest, and then the people who have deposited, it gives them the money back after a particular period of time if they have done it in a fixed deposit. And if it is not in a fixed deposit form, and if it is say uh, a current account, then the rate of interest given by the bank is usually less. Why is it less? Because the bank has to take into account the fact that the people there in the may be able to get some benefit, and the gap between the two, here if you see, the difference between what is charged from the borrower and what is paid to the depositor is the main source of income. So here is an answer, and you can mark that answer, and the question will be, what is the main source of income of bank? And that is the difference between the two interest rates. The interest that they charge on the loan is higher. The interest they give to the people who deposit in the bank their money is lower. The gap between the two is big enough for the bankers to take out the salary and cover all the expenses. So that is how a bank is able to function. I want you to see this picture. This picture is showing that there are many people who use the services of bank, right? You can see how many number of people are coming. It is much more. And what do they do? Whatever extra money they have, either they deposit it in the bank, or maybe their salary comes to the bank only. As is my case, my salary comes to the bank. है ना? How do I get? I don't get cash. I could get a salary which comes to the bank. So that bank has got all the money, and that money I withdraw. People also withdraw as much as they need. But borrowers are the ones, if you see, they are lesser in number. If you notice, they take the money from the bank and they give a higher rate of interest. Why? Because they have to invest that money in the business. So suppose if there is a person who has invested in a car and he wants to do business with that car. So every day, if suppose he's plying the car and using it as a taxi, etc., the money that he's getting will be more than the interest, etc., which is charged. So he will be able to pay up the money, and he will be able to benefit from this particular bank. So this is how banks, how, and the banks are living on the margin between the seller, between the depositor and the borrower. So depositors is are more, borrowers are always lesser in number. In credit situations, whenever we take loan, hmm, there is an agreement, right? Here it is mentioned that there is an agreement, and so you can mark that and highlight it. And in that, it says, in which the lender supplies the borrower with money, goods, and services in return of promise of future payment. So whenever we take loan, we have to promise it back, है ना? And now there are two different situations. Here, if you see, uh, here is a man called Salim, and he took loan, and he was able to make 3,000 pairs of shoes, right? And to make 3,000 pair of shoes, he also needed a large number of people to help him out. So you can see he had to hire few workers, and he has obtained loan, and loan from two sources he has obtained. This means uh, first he asked leather supplier to supply uh, leather, now promises to pay him later. He obtains loan in cash from the large traders as advance payment for 1,000 pair of shoes, with a promise to deliver the whole order at the end of the month. At the end of the month, Salim is able to deliver the order and make a good profit and repay the money that he had borrowed. So here you can see that Salim has taken loan, and at what time? It is a festival season, and at that time he has taken loan, and he has taken loan from the leather suppliers, and he has also taken loan from the traders. So the trader has faith in him. That is why trader has also given him loan, and that is advance for the 1,000 shoes. Within this that advance, he is able to make all the shoes and pay the salaries. And this is a profitable situation, for win-win situation, if you see, for Salim, for the trader, and for the leather supplier. Now this is win-win and positive situation. Now here there is a problem. This is Swapna's problem. She is a small farmer, because if you see the word is problem, this means there is a difficulty up in this situation. And what is the situation like? Here you can see she takes a loan from the money lender. Usually money lenders, they charge a very high rate of interest. So here she has taken loan from a money lender, right, to meet the expenses of cultivation, hoping that after her harvest would help repay the loan. Midway through the season, the crop is hit by pests. Now the problem is the crop is hit by pest. The crop fails. So if there is a situation where the crop fails, she has to spend for the expensive pesticides. And further, what do we say? What do we see is that Swapna takes a fresh loan for cultivation. It is norm. It is a normal crop this year, but the earnings are not enough to cover the old loan. She is caught in debt trap. So this is debt has come in. Why? Because she is not able to repay. And what she has to do for that? She has to sell a part of her property to repay the loan. So this is a very saddening situation, when if you are not able to recover the pay the loan, then they already make documents in such a way that they may be able to take back their money from the things that you have given to them. Suppose if you are buying a car, and then the car will, the ownership of the car would be to an extent with the bank also. Till the time you pay the total money, the bank will have that say on your car, and your car will become a part of the credit terms, the loan terms in which the credit was given to you. And once you pay the whole thing, it's a win-win situation. If you are not able to pay the money, then there are problems. And if it is private money lenders, then the rate of interest is also very, very high.